I'll do what I can.
Commandos, you gotta love it. It's gonna be a tough one with our tempo. I don't have my targets for this. We'll probably just go and use Avalak to pull out Portal and start taking that thinning.
No audiences. Stop today.
I mean, that's a really good bomb. What I do like is that we're going second. Red coin's a lot easier for us than blue coin in this matchup. Gotta be careful about how hard we push it though, because I don't want to accidentally use the Sunset Wanderers this round. I kind of want to see how much carryover we'll get with it.
Focus. Bang. Kaboom. Shit, how'd that go?
At last.
Gotcha! No! No, damn
That's
it!
just fine. So we're getting out some of the annoying cards at least. If I was to go Quinn, at this point of the game it's probably Quartermaster. I don't think we go that deep at this point. Let's get some extra points there. That'll be 14 on the board by the end of the next turn. It would be nice to see if we could take this round on even, and then we have the ability to kind of do a soft bleed perhaps. Maybe get out the siege before we go into a round 3. That's just fine. I don't want a long round 3 anyways. I think our short round game's incredible if we pull off a great sword and one of the megascopes, or so they're in a really bad spot because the Sunset Wanderers goes down, we draw a card, which pretty well guarantees that we do it on even. We haven't seen Commandos yet, which is telling me it's probably not Commandos. So I think we just maxi and get some information here.
And now I shall break you.
Take a reshuffle, I'm sure. And I think at this point we have to just trade with them. There's our Quen. We need one of the great swords, I think, in hand. It's just too many points. Especially if I want to be using leader, it kind of makes sense. Maybe Janet goes back. 1 and 2, that should be fine. Couple options too. We could pass on Heatwave. Or sorry, pass on Siege, or we can Heatwave it. I'm leaning more towards passing on it. Maddox looking proper. If they go siege here, we have a really good removal on the range throw. We click Maddox and we use the leader and put out the great sword, so that's what I'm leaning towards here.
Scrub this, scrub that, for fuck's sake, I'm sick of these chores.
Let's do it for the content, guys. Great sword goes down, boom, couple hits here. That's skill. That's really not bad, is it? I think I just go ahead with... Here, let's keep this. In case they want to renew that, let's make it a little bit of a problem. Haven't seen this in forever. So a little bit of bleeding. 3 off that, 2 and 3. Clears board, that's
Need
nice.
a hand? Just chop one off.
Now I don't think we're gonna go Junned here, I think we're gonna go for another Bear Witcher.
You've met your match, puppet.
That's pretty huge. I wanna save the heat wave just in case.
I'd lend you a hand, but then I'd have none.
Can I do the pendulum? I'm much better at that.
I mean... We're in a pretty good spot. Oh.
The city is ravaged by rot.
Oh my. So I just think we take it. We have to aggro here. Yeah, it doesn't matter where we play that.
Leave you in.
That's too bad. This in hand is just detrimental, man. 13 points off of that, plus maybe the leader. Yeah, it's not enough.
To the dungeon with him.
Another inspired Zeal. Hopefully we get sort of the same thing that we had going on last game. That would be great. I think we're like 1 game away from pro again, so it'd be nice to wrap it up here. Let's put that Maddox as the first problem. We have great long round hand. Like, we can go ahead and spend pretty well everything that's here, and that just kind of helps us out a little bit more.
Did you see that? Anything alive would be dead now. Killer spell.
It's already got Veil. A lot of the value from this deck comes within their ability to sort of damage our units and whatnot, so we're in good shape here. So this one's commandos.
Death to the enemy.
Makes you wonder. 3, 6, 9. Do we ever just crank it? You know, like, what if... Because they make all these copies, they beat us, and then they go into round 2, bleed it all out, and then they just try and 2-0. We don't have a lot of tempo to challenge that. I'm honestly down for an experiment just for the video right here. This needs to behave, otherwise it doesn't work. We wanted them all gone, by the way, so they can't make copies.
You ought to see the other beasts.
Maybe the pendulum. I'm much better at that.
That's too bad. Normally I wouldn't go full leader with it, but I felt like if we can pull it off, it might work. And it looks like they're probably just going commandos here. So either way it was going to happen, right? At least we're competing. Maddox's really good for helping the greatsword, right? Because you get 3 pings automatically, so leader doesn't matter quite as much. And we still have some really strong plays here.
Elves must die!
So if I continue to play, this comes out. I can't say I mind too much. Probably just go for the damage.
Need a hand? Just chop one off.
Suddenly this is kind of looking a little underwhelming. I probably wouldn't do the whole leader thing if it was like a different leader, like if we were playing against Kashi or something and they had like a big points land leader. We'd want to be able to kind of counter that with something of our own, but in this case it's not really doing a whole lot except for making their units work faster. So we have a lock and reset, so if they pop off the AA we can just literally take care of that right away. Miracles. So we have a lot of value with our location. And I think it's worth just kind of, I'm contemplating if we just drop back a greatsword, because they'll have like a 5-point removal. We don't have the immediate way to sort of take care of that, but it is a little bit awkward with this long hand here. So maybe we just look for a bomb. That's fine too. Let's see if I can greet it. Go for the quick removal so that they have to duel it instead of boiling it. This Megascope's just too many points. Yeah, we should be slamming that down here. If I can get out both commandos, assuming it's like just a double commando, not a triple, we should be good. That's huge. For the record, I don't like this card. I think this card's very unbalanced. Alright, so we're able to get 2 2-0 games in a row. This game right here is going for pro rank. It's not my first time, but it's still exciting, you know? So, this hand looks great. Good rotation. We have a thinning. We have tempo. I mean, we've got it all. We have like the Joachim answer. The hand's almost too good. If there's like one thing I want to take away is maybe Kadoosh. And I feel like if we mully that, we just don't see it again. A couple bombs is great. Probably... There we go, so it's not as good. We need to play like a deep round more than likely, so it just makes sense that we have Some bronzes too. This is the pro game, man. It's a lot of pressure. I think it's mainly gonna be a oh god.
We follow Letho's lead.
This I guess we're playing mill, guys. We have a really good 2-0 hand, so let's treat it like it has to be one. That's fine. I'll help you, mill. Here. We won't have a round 3. We don't have enough cards for round 3 because if we play the way we're intended to play anyways, our deck thins down to maybe 3 or 4 cards in round 3. So I just hope that when they're going for their pulls, they're pulling a bunch of crap cards, maybe like the bombs we won't need. I mean, we don't really have many bad cards. That's the problem. So we know it's not clog. We just have to let them know, listen, we're in this. This is my pro game, and they're not staying in the way.
Time to get our hands dirty.
If you want to see something interesting, just to kind of help us not get as milled, you know?
Here's our chance.
Unbelievable.
I once lopped off 3 heads with one blow.
Got to be careful that they don't high roll the heat wave we have. Totem would be bad as well. I think I might have to spend it.
Read this, good sir.
Took away my Madoc, thank you. Like, we know that they're going to play down to nothing, and heat wave on our greatsword is going to be a problem. Sort of puts us in that risky category. We know they're not running ball. They could be running Colgrim, but we do have an answer. If they're running Colgrim, can they fit a defender? I feel like it's a... might be a risk we have to take here. You know what though, Junit's gonna do the same thing. I think we just keep the heat wave. Let's just go for it like that.
That's impossible.
That's really good actually. Guess we're helping them more. Maybe it's a good time for people to start playing mill. Of course they're running hack a mill. Why wouldn't they, right? So this will just kill itself. That's a really good heat wave. Up by 20 points to get a heat wave for 8. Let's be patient here.
What are you gonna do?
Take out the assimilate engine. They probably think that we're running Hjalmar.
No one can hide from me.
That doesn't do a whole lot for them, really. So if they do Heatwave Greatsword, it's not too bad. It's a subpar bomb here.
I shall be your eyes, my lord.
And we Temple Pass.
We follow Letho's lead.
There's absolutely no way. Go first, we play our good card. Makes you wonder. I think we actually go for... There we go. That's nice. Location goes down next regardless, because I do not want to have them taking that from me. What are the odds, right? That's fine. Quartermaster just dies here.
Take care of your blades and they'll take care of you.
Ah,
We dance. For young
it's like they were expecting it.
The windmiller hit you hard.
I do think we have the 2-0 hand. We just gotta be careful here.
Everyone has their secrets. Everyone.
All that dancing around. It's not for me.
That's probably the worst leader I've had in like a month. There was consideration to like hit this first, but I was worried about unlucky pings, and then we just pinged the things that we needed to ping. That was annoying.
Double the coin and consider it. Need a hand? Just chop one off.
Get rid of that assimilate tag. If they clog it, it's fine, because Quartermaster's just going to help us right there.
I hoped we could solve this some other way.
There's nothing I can do about that, right?
I'd lend you a hand, but then I'd have none.
Why the train on the cone? I hate it.
It's looking kind of scary, guys. We don't have a round 3. They milled us so hard that it's like this or nothing. We have to hope that they have absolutely trash cards. That actually kind of helps.
Just a peek. That is all I need. You're not fast enough. The windmiller hit you hard.
You ought to see the other beast.
So can we pull it off?
You can run, you can hide, but I'm gonna get
They need 11 points to win. Colgrim doesn't do it, guys.
Quite a meaningful task.
Oh! Unbelievable. That's 3 2-0s in a row with this deck. We got the pro rank. Alright, so let's take a look at the deck here. We have Reckless Flurry as the leader ability. I have the Magic Lamp because we're kind of playing standoffish. We don't want to be boosting our own units and whatnot. Portal's been pretty standard. If you look at the Skellige deck I posted a few weeks ago, it was a Witcher type big boosty deck for Skellige. We use the same leader ability. We had Portal for the Bear Witcher Adepts. This one's no different with that regard. So definitely portals auto include. It makes a lot of sense too because it's just one of the few tempo moves that we have. This is a brand new card, Sunset Wanderers. I think it's extremely cheap. It starts in the leftmost position of your hand around 1. At the beginning of the turn, while in hand, move 1 position to the right and boost Self by 1. At the end of your turn, if you haven't passed or there are no cards to the right of this card, summon Self from your hand to an allied row and then draw a card. It's really stingy. It's playing for really good points. It's helping with hand consistency and really fixing things that you'll see in the games. What I mean by that, we're able to get 3 2-0 games in a row. And I think that this has definitely something to do with it. It's unfortunate. I really hope they don't keep making cards this strong because it really kind of unbalances the game and it makes it so that you have to have certain cards in your deck, otherwise you can't win, and that's not really great. Heatwave's here for Taliban, of course. It's great. We can use it to banish Artifact as well. This is decent in a mirror match, of course. Like, we get 10 points off the rip for playing it against another Reckless Fury deck, but ideally it's for like the Masquerade Ball, the Passiflora, things like that, you know, the big scenarios. Svalbard Totem's one of our big tempo swings as well, spawning the bears on both sides. It helps because we have pings that we can sort of use the Quartermaster, whether it be off just the one we play or the one off the Kadoosh as like a proactive play. We can also use them off the Madoc, which is another reason why we have it here. Hit down the Madoc and click the Madoc, so we're not losing any points on our side of the board if we don't have anything with armor or a shield like Gwent to hit off of. Junnit's good. I had to sacrifice Hjalmar when I got this new card this morning to try and fit it in, see how it goes for the video, which is why Hjalmar's not here, but Junid makes sense in the deck. It's a Witcher tag, which I liked with Quen more than Hjalmar in this case because he was a warrior. It has the ability to destroy a damaged enemy unit. We're running into a lot of like the hyper thin Nilfgaard decks. This makes a lot of sense just to have it in here because when they play, what's his name? You know the one. I think it's a 8 power actually, or 8 provision. This guy. Someone just tell me the name of that guy. When they play that guy who damages himself by the amount of cards or by the provision of the first card in my deck, this is a really good removal. It's also really good for playing against monsters that like to go tall and whatnot, so it just had some use here. If we're playing in the mirror match, it does really well against their great swords, so there we have it. Now, Kadoosh is great. Like I said, we're playing it multi-ways. I don't usually look for a Bear Witcher Mentor because I like to play the control style of play with this deck. So we're looking for the Bear Witcher, or if necessary to go proactive, we're looking for the Bear Witcher Quartermaster. So one of those two is going to be what we're fishing for. On-crate greatswords are great. We get the pings off the Madoc to heal it. We have an initial leader charge that can heal it as well and get that value right away to keep it in, you know, range, take it out of like a 5-point removal so the megascopes can work and make copies of it. We have some alternative options, right, for the megascopes, like the Bear Witcher Adepts or the Bear Witchers. Lots of beefy bronze units in this deck to make copies of, so often you'll find yourself, you play a great sword, even if you try to buff it to keep it out there, they're taking a heat wave, or they're going out of their way to remove it. Don't panic, it's okay, we have other options of things to copy. It doesn't brick the hand that we have. Something that I decided to throw in this morning is artifact compression. When I was playing yesterday evening, I was running into a lot of like the hyper thin Nilfgaard and things like that were kind of just getting wacky and out of control with really tall units. And especially now that everyone's running Sunset Wanderers, so this makes it very difficult to, like, you know, you don't want to dedicate a big band like this. You don't want to play maybe Spores because it might be too conditional. This one has the ability to lock something and reset it. So we can take just the lock or reset here, maybe reset a 15-point Sunset Wanderers down to 1, or we can look at a Colgrim, for example, if we want to take that lock ability and really kind of use it that way. So it's nice to have. It fits well in the 5 provision spot. It keeps us on that lower end of the unit spectrum. Maxi's really good for deck consistency as well. Maxi's great because we have so many cards that are pulling other cards and so many ways to brick our hand. You got to be mindful of that. Maxi helps us get that information and find out what we're going to be doing for the next round. So playing Maxi, having the ability to potentially reshuffle our deck and try it over again is a good thing to have. The banish is going to be taken out the Maddox or the Crow Mamas or any of the cards that are reoccurring, the Flying Redanian, which is why we have it here. Moondust is ideally going to be to purify a card, so we're going to be trying to get through a defender with this so we don't have to spend a heat wave. And worst case scenario, it just acts as a 4 provision or 4 power removal in this case. Talked about these ones here, just some cheap bombs. This is kind of like my one answer to swarm control. I've tried something like this with Gerd instead, and I felt it like a little bit awkward just because of our top end's very heavy, and I like the way this all rolls out. So Gerd would be a consideration, but it's something that I didn't put in here, and I think we're doing just fine based on the games today. So again, just some little bit of crowd control, and of course, like I mentioned, these come off the portal. So very simple, very lean deck when it comes to units, but we're playing pretty well everything, especially in the game where Hyperthin helped us play down to 0 pretty well. So I'm going to be posting this so you guys can have a look at it as well, and try it if you like, and let me know in the comments what you think about it. And just to kind of go over something real quick, if you log on to Gwent today, there's something that they're putting out to celebrate the WitcherCon. So there's a bunch of challenges here, and the music is loud, but you could see how there's like little simple challenges, and you're getting tons of free stuff, keys, cards. Most importantly, if you want to try Sunset Wanderers, you're able to get the card here, and all you have to do is play a bunch of games, maybe 5-10 games, and play 100 cards, and you have a premium copy of this for free. So they make it accessible to everyone. I definitely think you guys should get on this as soon as possible. It costs nothing to do it. It's only going to help you build your collection of cards and, you know, stay more competitive with the new expansion and help get those ones that you're missing. There's 13 days and 12 hours left as of July 8th. So get on it as soon as possible. And if you liked the video, if you found it useful, don't forget to subscribe. That's how you help support the channel. I'm going to be posting a few more of these soon. I've been having a lot of fun playing lately. I feel rejuvenated, so look out for something later this week. We'll see you soon.